Welcome to the Council of Moms, where we talk about stuff you don't see on Instagram. Yeah. It's like Instagram unfiltered, right? Or welcome to the Council of Moms. It's like the Brady Bunch, where we're talking about blended families, but we're actually talking about blended families. You know, isn't that so funny how they never had a special episode on the Brady Bunch about like the other spouse or grief or
no, you wouldn't expect Marisha Marsha to go, "You're not my mom."
Yeah, like
you're not my dad.
For sure, Jan would have said that,
right?
Like
Peter,
she would have thrown it in their face. Yeah, it would have been okay. The Council of Moms. The bad news is that there's no normal. The good news is that there is no normal. You're doing great.
Yay! That one's my favorite.
Do you like that one?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, good. We're gonna set. We gotta underline that one. The Council of Moms, fueled by adrenaline, caffeine, and secret hidden snacks. Right?
Yes.
By the way, just out of curiosity, since I have you here, what is your secret hidden snack that you hide from your kids?
Oh gosh, for sure. I have a candy drawer.
Yeah, I do too. I have like it's like different flavors of like dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Mine's
chocolate.
straight sugar. Chewy Sprees.
Sugar.
Oh, Chewy Sprees. Okay, those give me a headache,
Spree.
but they're good.
I think I'm just not cool. I'm just like the, gas station Skittle person, like, and I'll stash them in my
nice.
car.
No,
like
that's
the little
good.
bag of Skittles.
Car's a good spot.
Yeah.
that's a
My
good
kids
place.
all know they know where my secret stash is, and they get into my secret stash. Yeah.
I have to like change it around, even with adult kids. They just
The
know.
money is hidden. That's the more important stash.
Oh,
But the Council of
is-
Moms,
yeah.
yeah.
Have you ever gotten the 7-Eleven nachos and a Slurpee and then just parked at Walgreens and ate it at night?
Hello, yeah. It's
Okay.
not my first rodeo, but for me,
With no one else on, you're on an
oh,
errand.
isn't it the best? I remember going on errands to get like a shake and cheese fries and just sit them
bet.
in especially when my kids were like little, and I'd be like, "This is the best self-care ever." Something about your car that makes it special.
Yeah.
Well, we're the Council of Moms. We're not just talking about secret hidden mom snacks, although we do 100% hope to inspire and influence you to find your own flavor. But much like the differences in our snacks, there are differences in the council that we have accumulated here today and gathered together. Here, gavel, gavel. We have Tammy, Brittany, and Liz here on a special edition, I feel like, the Council of Moms, where we're talking specifically about issues related to blending families. It's so hard. We got to talk about it more. And that's exactly why we have a Council of Moms. So today's question is, I love my bonus kids, but I'm struggling to build the same connection with them that I feel with the kids that I brought to the marriage. I feel guilty that I don't love them all the same yet. How do you love your kids and stepkids equally? What am I missing? Thank you for those who sent in these questions. That's a really vulnerable question. Let's talk about it. How do you do it? How does it work?
I just have to chime in like, you don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please, tell me more.
There's so much pressure. People are like, you have to love them all equally and love them all the same. And like, I'm sorry. Until you have tried to do it, it's not the same. There's still love there, but it's a little bit different because they also don't love me the same in return. Does that make sense? It's a different type of relationship. Like I love my parents and I love my brothers or I love my husband, and they're different types of love, and it's still love. And it doesn't mean that I love them more or less. It's just a different type of love. And so between my biological kids and my bonus kids, it's a different type of love.
Well, thank you for starting the conversation like that. Liz and Tammy, what has your experience been as well?
Mine was realizing this because I really struggled too. Like I want to love. I have this streak of justice in me where everything needs to be fair. Like Christmas is very fair. Everybody gets the exact same amount of presents on Christmas morning, so there's no blaming me for liking someone more. But when it comes to that love, I want to love them all the same. And I had a good friend point out to me, and she said, well, why are you any different than God? He has a different relationship with all of his children. He loves all of them, but he has a different relationship. And that for me was like, oh, you're right. Like, okay, I love all of my children and I'm allowed to have a different relationship with all 4 of them. And that's okay. And there's no shame in that. And there's nothing wrong with that. And then I thought of my own family where I'm like, you know what? Even my own parents have different relationships. They love all of 5 of us the same. And each parent has a different relationship with each child. And so there's where that, Liz, and I love how you said that, grace, there's where that grace comes into play, because we have to just, of course you love them. And you have a much different relationship with each child, and that's okay.
Yeah, I think so. I'm a widow and I married a widower. I have 4 kids. He has 4. So we combined and made a household of 10. And there are 8 kids, right? And they're little. So the oldest, she's 12, and my youngest is now 3. And I had this expectation because I had been a childbearing mother. I've had 4 biological children, right? That it would be like a new baby, that we'd get married, we'd start living together, and that my love would just instantly burst and my heart would grow and envelop all these children. And like, it would just be there. Like, cause that's kind of how it is with a newborn. All of a sudden you meet that baby and it's like, your love is just there. You just love that little thing. You don't know why, but you just do. And I had that expectation and my bubble was burst probably like a week in when I like realized like, oh, no. This is a growing process for all of us. And that love just isn't instantly there. Like, I know that at first there was like loyalty conflicts, right? Where the kids were super guarded because they have an angel mom and they're like, I can't accept this new person, you know, because like that would mean hurting my mom, or like that my mom didn't matter if I like her. We had a 4-year-old who really struggled with this, and she was like hard. Like every single time I tried to do something nice for her, like I made her a sandwich and she's like, I want my dad to do that. Like gave me attitude. And it was like, I could not win. Like I could not nice my way into her like liking me. And then after a point I was like, okay, how about just tolerate me? Like we live in the same house, like, you know? And I tried so hard to get and break through. And it wasn't until like a while that I finally broke through to her. But it took acknowledging her pain and that she was suffering, that I was there, because that was like highlighting the reality that her biological mom wasn't, and having us like have that clash and acknowledge that between the 2 of us, that it actually dissolved some of that disdain. But like growing into love, it's a growth, but I don't know if it's like the exact same. Brittany is just like, I
know. I love that.
Yes. Yeah.
And you have to follow their lead and
True.
and watch and just listen and learn what they want to accept from you. And I think that was hard for me because when I married, I'm like, hey, I'm your mom. And the oldest, who was 9 at the time, is like, no, you're not. And like that was really hard for me. And everything you said, Liz, is exactly what I experienced. And so my 9-year-old is now 28. And our relationship has evolved for sure. But I've learned maybe she doesn't really need a mom. And for her, it's kind of like she just needs an aunt, a fun aunt.
Right.
And so that's kind of my relationship with her right now. Like, tell me what you want me to know. I'm on a need to know basis. I don't want to be smothering you. And so I'm just a fun aunt right now. And I think that's probably appropriate for any older woman who's single in her 20s. Sometimes I just don't need when she does need a mom, I'm here to be the mom. And until then, I'll just be a nice, fun aunt.
But that's a generous way to look at the relationship. Instead of saying, this is my expectation, this is the way that it should be, you're saying, what do you need?
Yeah.
You know, I'm here for you. I'm an extra person who is invested and loved and has all this love for you in a different way than just somebody on the street. So how can I show up for what you need? And that will change. I hadn't thought about how that could change at different phases of their lives.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem as intense of a need of like what a 9-year-old needs than what a 28-year-old needs.
And
And it's acknowledging that.
Yeah, and I'm really huggy. I love to hug and touch for sure. And I do that a lot with the 2 that I biologically had. But the other 2 don't want that from me. And I remember the therapist saying, you need to ask permission to hug those children. And I'm like, that is stupid. She's not asking, may I hug you? You know, just seems so dumb to me, but that's what they needed. So that's how we do it. Like, may I hug you? Can I hug you right now? And okay, great. So I wish there wasn't that, but that's just what we learned in therapy. You've got to follow their lead. And yeah, it's really interesting.
Wow.
It is hard. And when you're going in, like, you're ready, willing to love fully, and they're not ready for your love, that can really sting. And that's work that you have to do on your own.
Well, I'm sure that it would like bring out different areas of your personality, right?
Yes.
Oh, it's hard. I think any kind of rejection's hard, right? And like, especially when you're trying to give love to someone and they're not ready to receive it, it's like, ooh, ouch, that hurt. And then on the other end too, you know?
Well, this is a funny story. When I first married in the first year, the second daughter called me mom immediately. She has cerebral palsy, so she's got some special needs. She called me mom right out of the gate, but the oldest did not. And it took her a couple of years before she would call me mom. And I remember I listened to my husband have a conversation with the two girls saying, hey, Kirsten, you know, he asked the daughter, why do you call her mom? And she's so funny because she says, I call him, and she can't say her R's. I call her mom because mom is only 3 letters and Tammy is a lot more. That was her reason for calling me mom.
Easier.
It's
way
practical.
easier than,
okay,
2
guess what?
syllables.
It's easier on me.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So it just clicked for her. Okay, I'll take that. Yeah. The oldest did
You're
not like
I
that.
still take the win. I still take it.
You
I'm
bet
on.
I do.
Something I found that's helped me, though, is realizing that even though, like, my stepson doesn't love me like he loves his mom, which I never really fully expected that, but I did, like, hope for him to, love me.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't look like that, it has transitioned and turned into something, like, really cool, actually. So we've had some really hard moments, and where we're at now, he's like a teenager, and actually I think sometimes he values my opinion more than his parents right now in this phase, because I'm not his parent. And so I'm like, hey, I think this is cool. And we found special topics that we really bond over, certain things, and it's just like a totally unique type of relationship. I still don't, there are definitely different types of boundaries. Like if any kind of correction or discipline needs to happen, it's still coming from my husband and not me. Because I promise that's how it works best in our family.
Same.
We've tried it the other way. It didn't work so good. And I had to be okay with that. I had to like finally say, that's okay. He wants dad to be dad. And I just can be like this extra person, and that's totally okay. But I had to do a lot of like self-reflection, like what am I making this mean when I'm getting this reaction, or just a lot of triggers that kind of came up for me. So I got to do my own healing.
It is really hard when you're parenting though, and like you are like making the meals for them and doing the like helping out with laundry, and like you're actually doing mom stuff for them.
Right.
And then they like don't acknowledge you as an authority figure. Like that can be really difficult.
Super frustrating.
I started to hate my name Tammy when she called me Tammy, because I'm like, I'm mom. Like I'm doing all the mom stuff. Don't call me Tammy. Oh yeah, for sure, Liz.
That's extremely frustrating. And then to be like, put your feet down off the couch. And they're like, ah! You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so
come at
sorry. Like,
you.
what do I do? Where if it was like one of my other kids, it'd be in a non-issue. I would just be like, oh, it's fine. But it feels a little more personal when it's your bonus
is.
kids.
Oh, for sure, Brittany. Oh, we do that all the time. Because with your kids that you gave birth to, you're like, knock it off. Stop that.
Get over it.
You can't say that to the
You're
bonus
fine.
kids. No,
Right?
you cannot.
Exactly. Because
Would you
there's a
mind
grief.
if it's okay? Could you not do that? Yeah.
Can you package that up in a prettier box, Tammy, and then deliver it?
Yeah, exactly how you have to do it. Let me figure this. Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
It must be like a new kind of frustration when from beyond just the regular living of life, right? Like we all have to wake up and pay taxes and vacuum the living room and all the basics of just existing and living life, and on top of it to put difficult or just even tricky relationships, I'm thinking even in the best of circumstances, where do you find that, everyone has their moments then when it's too much, or everyone has that moment where they're not acting their best? When you need to like recenter and you need to remind yourself of the bigger picture, how do you do that? What do you do?
Oh man. I know this is something that my husband and I really thought about, because it's not just the adults that need that space and that break, right? It's the kids too.
Oh yeah, sure.
And so we had to make sure that we had a house that was big enough that each person could have like their retreat space, which is their bed. Okay. Mm-hmm. We did not give everybody their own bedroom. That just wasn't practical. That's way too many bedrooms, but they can at least have like their own bed and like the bed that they were used to. So that meant keeping biological siblings together, like the units that they were pre-existing together. Yeah. So they could go retreat into those spaces of people that they're used to living with, right? And that may not always be practical for everybody, but that's what we made sure to do because, everybody gets overstimulated. It's not just the adults. The kids do too. They get frustrated, but if they have like something that's familiar to them, then they can go do that. But for like me as an adult, I needed to have my own sanctuary. And that means like I need my bedroom to be a no kid zone, right?
Oh, for sure.
I need that safe space. I need my stuff in the closet. I need things that kids can't touch that belong to me, and I need that space respected. If not, I'm going to lose my mind. Like I gave so much and I'm like, I just need this little shelf to stay the same. That's it.
Your bedroom, yes, like everyone listening, your bedroom is your sanctuary. You right now, that's your boundary. That is the hill you're willing to die on. Because I walked in and I remember I had a kid that was sitting on the lazy boy chair watching TV in my bedroom, gnawing on a chicken leg. And I'm like, all right, we're done. This is not a second TV room. Get out. Like I had to have a talk with my husband. I will die on this hill. I've got to have a space where I can shut the door and just breathe. Yeah. Oh, Liz, that's I love that you said that. That was my big thing.
That's so funny. I'm just thinking like my bedroom is my sanctuary. My closet's just full of my stuff. My bathroom, I don't know if I could share it with anyone ever again. Right? I, didn't get my own bedroom ever until my 40s. So I don't know if I can go back.
Enjoy it while you got it.
It's really hard.
It's hard.
Now I've got this big, anyway, house. It'll all be mine, just me. And it kind of brings up this idea when we talk about blending families. I think we all have this idea of what it means. And I joked in the beginning about talking about Brady Bunch, right? Like here is this popular sitcom that everyone living in a certain time, Gen Xers, I see you, understand. And yet it didn't really teach us a lot about blending families in a way that is sort
Alice, so it wasn't even fair.
Well, and that's another thing.
Give me an Alice.
So true.
We all need an Alice. First of all, we can all agree on that on the Council of Moms. But it makes me curious as to what do you wish people knew about blending families that you feel like they don't know? That it would make it easier for you to know if other people knew it. Sorry?
I can tell you what I didn't expect.
Yeah.
What I didn't expect is that it would be lonely. That when you create this new family system, I think a lot of people see a tragedy and then all of a sudden they see this cute little bow on this package and they're like, oh, yay, the tragedy's over and it's fixed. Right?
Right.
And they don't understand that this family's in crisis because you are now in this melting pot. And they're just like, oh, they're good now. And I didn't expect it to be lonely. Plus, like, we now have 10 people. Who invites a family of 10 over? Nobody.
Oh,
Nobody
does.
Of
that. You're right.
Nobody should. That's a lot of people.
No one should. Oh, okay.
But just like, family events get more expensive, everything. And it just becomes more lonely. And I didn't expect that.
Yeah. I think it's actually lonely no matter how you come into it too. Because you came into it as a widow, but even as someone who was divorced and got remarried, same story. Like, oh, this was this really hard, sad thing, and now, ta-da! It's like the happily ever after. Yay, fixed. Where like we were like literally dying inside. Like, whoa, this is way worse. This is way harder than getting divorced.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wish people understood. The thing is, though, like you could tell people that it's really hard, and some people told me it was going to be hard, and I didn't. You can't get it, but I
But
wish.
the
I guess
loved ones and the people who are not experiencing it, who are surrounding you, that information is helpful. You know, like that then gives me ideas about how I can show up better for those who are trying to do that and maybe reach out more or in a different way and not just assume everything and meet them where they are. I do think knowledge is power in that sense of how do we show up for each other.
For sure. I think just like if there were family members wanting to support, just to be non-judgmental, because it is so much more difficult to try to blend these complicated relationships and dynamics and back and forth if you're doing that. And there's just so many complex areas. So like, don't get mad at us if we can't come to your Christmas party, or don't get mad if like we have to change some things a little bit, or if it's not going to be totally the same. Try to be understanding of that.
And I think for me, I wish I had known going in that everyone's grieving, and that grief isn't a one-time event. Like there's not a time frame on grief. And in my experience, my family's still grieving, and my 28-year-old is still grieving. And I can remember after being married for 2 years, we were doing family therapy, and my husband said in the therapy session how hard the holidays are. And he says he thinks about his loved ones. And then he said, I think about Michelle every day. And that was devastating, because I thought I had done my job as a dutiful wife and that I was healing hearts. And when I found out that wasn't how it worked, I was so sad, because I just thought, oh, great, you think about her every day, so I guess this isn't working. And I just wanted it to be a one and done. Like, all right, let's be sad and then move on. And that's not how grief works. And it can take it will take a lifetime. And he pointed out, he's like, well, of course I do, but I also grieve the loss of my father and people in my life. Like, I will never stop missing them. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense then. So it's not like you love them more than me. Feels like it, but I had to really just go, okay, grief it lasts a lifetime, and it's okay.
Yeah. We want it to be more simple.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah. I also didn't expect like how difficult it would be coming into a bunch of different families, right?
Yeah.
Like you have all these different relationships that have been pre-existing, and you're trying to maintain those, but you also have these baby relationships that are just starting with like adults who have history with other parts of the family and you're not. And like just navigating all that, I didn't expect how difficult that would be. That you have not just the new relationships in your family, but with extended family. And yeah, and then you have like a further in the timeline experiences, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the day-to-day.
Yeah,
too.
without the history.
Without
of
the
those
history. Right.
And I think a piece that we sometimes forget is that it can be hard for extended family members too.
Yeah.
100%.
To fully accept new kids as grandchildren or
the new family as a family. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Like they want it to stay this way, and acceptance can be really hard.
It is. I appreciate this. This has been such a great discussion. I've got 1 minute left. I just was wondering if you could just each leave your best advice moving forward as simply as possible. What do you think has been the best advice for those who are struggling in a blended family? Tammy, let's start with you.
Embrace the yuck. It's okay. Like, it's going to be hard and it's going to be great. I used to always say I love being married. I don't like being a mom, and I still maintain that to this day. Love my husband, but this mom gig, I was not. And I thought I was a really good mom when I was single. In fact, I was. I was a really good mom when I was single. And it's hard. It's hard for everybody. So if you're having a really hard time, just know you're in great company. It is hard, but just hang in there. Embrace it.
That's so great. Brittany?
The thing that's coming to my mind right now is if you want to do your family a service or something loving, go take care of yourself. Go heal. Go get confident. Go work on you. That is the greatest gift you can give your family, because then you can show up in the way that you really want to. That when something feels personal, you're able to actually process that in a healthy and loving way, and really respond in the way that feels good to you. Where if you're still carrying, grief comes often with trauma. If you're still carrying traumas from past things, I promise it's affecting your family on the daily basis, probably. So go work on that, and that's okay. It's totally fine. Doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. Doesn't mean you're broken. It just means that you've been living life. So
That's a great advice. Oh, okay, Liz, take us
I'm
home.
just going to say up your snack game. Just up your snack game when everything is going to pot. Just up your snack game and it will
Amen.
be fine.
You know when it's time for gas station nachos, and we
Yes.
don't need to tell you.
Someone's just
You're gonna
hungry.
know.
I'm going to go get some today.
I know, me too. And I'm not even
delicious.
blending a family. I'm just thinking maybe I might. I don't even know.
Maybe you
called a
might.
pregame.
Maybe
Pre-game
we all
nachos.
might. Listen, you guys are the best. Tammy, Brittany, Liz, thank you so much for being on this Council of Moms. Thanks for talking about things that are hard in a way that makes it easier for us to show up in the world, which is what the Council of Moms is all about. Thanks so much.
Oh, thank you. Love you, Lisa.
Love you guys.